Got a couple of major decisions today from the United States Supreme Court. First off, a Texas man on death row for murder is going to have another chance to try to prove his innocence. As Ken Molestina explains, this latest battle is hinged on arguments over the statute of limitations and whether or not crucial DNA evidence could be examined.
The case of Rodney Reed has been decades in the making. He was arrested and convicted of killing 19-year-old Stacey Stites in Bastrop back in 1998, a crime he was sentenced to death for. In 2019, he was given an indefinite stay of execution by the state of Texas. And this latest ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court makes way for DNA evidence that Reed has been asking for to now be tested.
And he has been asking for years for the courts to allow him to do DNA testing on that belt to be able to show that he's not the person who did this and to show potentially who the person was who did.
Jane Pucher is Reed's lawyer through the Innocence Project. She says the DNA evidence was previously not tested because a lower court ruled Reed's statute of limitation to petition for it had expired. The SCOTUS ruling found it had not, agreeing with Reed's lawyers that he was within his time to file his request.
It means that the clock got moved backwards and that Mr. Reed filed in a timely way and his litigation can now continue.
How soon then, before that evidence that Mr. Reed has been wanting to be DNA tested, how soon before that can be tested now?
We don't know at this point because we would first need a court to grant us testing. And we now go back to the Fifth Circuit to argue that we are allowed to have that testing happen.
While Reed's future on death row is still uncertain, Wednesday's ruling gives him another shot at exoneration.
We're grateful that the Supreme Court has allowed the courthouse doors to stay open to Mr. Reed and that his efforts to pursue DNA testing can continue.
I'm Ken Molestina, CBS News, Texas.